Hey everyone, a little recap of the Michael Proctor hearing we had yesterday because you might have been stuck in the Adelson case and not be aware that this hearing was going on. This is a hearing to see should he be reinstated in his job or was he legally fired. And I want to say the MSP lawyers came out firing. Pew, 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 pew. They read his horrible texts and that he said all of them were bad, they were unprofessional, and he shouldn't have done it. So his argument that, hey, it's my personal phone and those texts should just have stayed private. And, and the only reason I'm being fired is because they're making me a scapegoat because of the media pressure. It doesn't really work when you acknowledge that all this was BS from the start. So maybe you should have been a man, nut up and shut up and take it on the chin. But hey, this is Canton and he's going down swinging. And the two arguments that kind of seem to be the ones his defense is using is, well, it was on his private phone and, well, everyone else does it. But do you imagine that Proctor could interview someone and when he's interrogating him and saying, hey, you robbed that bank, and that guy said, well, other people rob banks. It's not like I'm the only one doing it. So why are you only going after me? Because if he had said that to Proctor while being interrogated, Proctor would have said the same thing to him that I'm going to say to Proctor. Man up, face the consequences. That's your responsibility because you're responsible for your own actions. But when it's Proctor being slapped with a little disciplinary action, it's all of a sudden it's a valid defense. Hey, everyone else does it. And talking about his private phone, like that's a safe zone. No, it's not. If you conduct public business on your private phone, just like Morrissey on his private email, it becomes public. You can't sit there and circumvent the laws by saying, well, now I'm taking up my burner phone and I'm going to do a lot of crimes, but it's okay because I'm on my burner phone. It's because you talk about case sensitive materials. This isn't just some, as they try to say, well, he was venting because it was such a bad case and he felt so hard about it. This is a guy who was the leading detective on a murder trial, sending misogynistic slurs about the accused women, hoping that she would self delete. And it's not just to his superiors, no, it's to his buddies and his sister. This is nothing to do with your privacy because you should know as a cop, you don't have the right to share a defendant's information. You're not allowed to talk about the case you're covering. You could say, hey, yeah, I just catched a murder trial. It's going to be a lot of work. That would be fine. But when you tell them where it happened, who are potential witnesses, who the victim is, talking about leaky balloon nuts, you're going way, way overboard for venting. Now you are actually attacking this woman. And that's why you got fired. And was it just because the media pressure? Well, if that's true, then he's basically saying that his police department caves to bad press and it's not the actual misconduct. But if it's because of the media pressure, are you then saying that your office accepts misogynistic wild texts? Because then we have a big old problem. Then more people should be investigated because if you're claiming it was just because the media got interested in it, that means everyone else accepted it. If everyone else accepts this is the culture, then everyone else should be looked at because they determined your conduct was unbecoming of an officer. And again, Howie Carr, Aiden Turtleboy, Katie Russo, Christina Rex, none of these people sent those text messages. You did, Michael Proctor. You were the one who chose to write those texts, no matter if it was on your private phone or it was accepted. You choose what you write on your phone, and you wrote some really bad stuff, especially for a lead investigator. But the big problem to me is if everyone else does it, am I right in my theory that this department should be demolished and built up again? Is it acceptable to treat people like that? Is it acceptable to break standard procedure? Is it acceptable to do cold cases and get, well, we don't know how drunk he was because there was no breathalyzer, no blood work done on him. But is it acceptable that you're drinking in your government vehicle? If so, there's a way bigger problem than Michael Proctor, and he's getting big. But still, if this is acceptable, if this is something you do, first of all, we know they have had problems in Massachusetts with the overtime scams before. Is it a way to run up the bill saying, hey, I'm working a cold case? Then you drive down to the Cape with your buddy, have some beers, have some dinner. Then you ride back and you get 7 hours of overtime. Because if that's true, then more officers are doing it. And after watching Massachusetts for close to 2.5 years now, I don't believe this is only Michael Proctor. I believe he's a scapegoat. Yes, to take the heat off all the other bad actors. Should he get his job back? Hell to the no. If you're dumb enough to have these texts on your phone, if you're dumb enough to call your buddies and say, hey, we have this babe with a flat ass, then you're too stupid to be a police officer. Will he get his job back? Well, today we'll continue the investigation. We are still on cross on Lieutenant Dwyer. We don't know how many people that potentially can be called from the defense. Could be interesting if they call in some of the names we know. Proctor won't testify today. Apparently, he's going to testify in October. But it was a little stale yesterday. There's a lot of flipping through papers. But the bottom line is Michael Proctor doesn't want to take accountability because everyone else do it, and the Fed should never have looked at my phone. That's not how it works. You did it. You face the music because just because everyone is jumping off a bridge doesn't mean you should do it.